Alright guys, so these are my top 5 decks. That don't mean that they are the top 5 decks. These are just the top 5 decks that I'll be playing in this format. And I think most people would agree that these are some of the best decks. Now, I did not put Vanquish Soul K9 because I think everybody already knows that probably is going to be the most represented deck. Therefore, probably the best deck. However, I don't believe in my heart of hearts that it's really the best deck. I personally think that Yummy is actually better than K9. But, I mean, not better than K9, better than Vanquish Soul K9 specifically. But that's my opinion. You know what they say about opinions. But anyways, let's dig in. These are my first 5. I'm going to give you deck lists for each one, and you can kind of base your deck list off of it. Let me know in the comments what you would change. None of this is final. We don't really know what representation is going to look like at regionals, at YCS yet. But anyway, let's start with Yummy. So, the Yummy build, right now this is kind of what my build is going to be looking like. Hand trap heavy. However, depending how the format goes, I may swap to a more board breaker approach, as I prefer board breakers. I'm a board breaker guy, but I cannot imagine a situation where I get into a tournament and I'm sitting here staring at a Malice player making a full combo board, and all I have in my hand is a Droplet and a Talents or something. That's not cutting it. I'm just going to tell you right now, that's not cutting it. They will absolutely obliterate you. Just their one MTP will actually ruin your whole Yummy combo in a lot of situations. And you almost need them to interact perfectly. But anyways, guys, so we're playing the standard Yummy engine, maxed out on a Yummy engine. Obedience School, this card's broken. It's a one card OTK, 1 card full combo. This is, if any card gets banned or limited, this will be it. This is an amazing card. Sky Striker, it bridges into Yummy so easily. Super broken. And then this is a deck that you can play Purge in. I'm not 100% sold on Purge. I would almost prefer to side it in some situations. But when you draw both of these together, it feels really good. Or if you draw Ash and Purge, but it puts you in a weird spot like, should I use Purge here or Ash? Because Purge can't stop special summons from deck. But anyways, let's see. I'm only playing 1 field spell, and this is complete preference. If anything, I would play 2 of this field spell instead of 1 of the other one. The other one does get you an extra pop on your opponent's turn. But usually you're so far ahead at that point, you're winning the game anyway against most of the decks in the current meta. Plus, when you're playing hand traps, you might have 2 or 3 hand traps in your hand to help back up your board anyway. It may not even have to go that deep into your combo on your opponent's turn. And then 1 for 1, this is kind of a flex spot, but 1 for 1 is just, it's a broken card. It's at 1 for a reason, and we're a level 1 deck, so why not play it? For the extra deck, pretty much standard. This guy right here, a lot of people are playing this. It's not necessarily necessary, but it can help recycle this, and it has a unique effect to protect your field spell. SP, sort of a flex spot. It rarely comes out. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a good generic card to use. It's easy to climb into. Yeah, and I don't know. You have a link 1 for these, and then typically you're going to normal summon these and make Almirage, like any of your hand traps. If you got a Fua, there's no reason not to just normal this and then special the Yummy monster. You get an extra body, and it just helps you climb to a link 1, unless you're really just scared to death of Nibiru, but this deck plays around Nibiru so easily. Side deck, we're not even going to touch on the side deck, but this is just kind of what I'm thinking this format. But it's going to depend on what deck you're playing. So Thrust is only going to be good against certain decks, like specifically Vanquish Soul. You know, you side into, I would probably take 1 of these out and put a Talents. If you know you're playing Vanquish Soul, that's actually really good against them because it's going to be live on your turn. So, yeah, and maybe even side like Raigeki or something. Whatever, I don't know. Lots of different cards that you can do. Now, talking about Yummy, everybody thinks that Yummy gets cooked by Forbidden Droplet. Guys, have you ever read Herald of the Arclight? Alright, so worst case for you, you're going to trade 1 for 1, or really 1 for 2 with a Forbidden Droplet, like if they have to use a spell, which would be the stupidest thing that they could do. but they can't send monsters. So yeah, Droplet's not one card. Even if you don't end with Herald and you have Yummy Surprise set, you're still making like 4 or 5 interruptions on their turn. Plus you're backing it up with what, 2-3 hand traps. I don't know what deck beats that, guys, with a 5-card, 6-card hand. It's just, you know, it's gonna be tough. And if they do, hey, they're just good. Let's look at the next deck. We're gonna think about K9 Crystron. Really interesting deck, and this list is not finalized by any means. Now, you say, why are you running Droplet? You were just talking crap. Crystron just synergizes well with Droplet, okay? I'm just putting that out there. And Droplet's not just terrible, but at the same time, it's not a god card. Like, everybody's trying to make it out to be this format. And Dark Ruler in this format, I mean, Dark Ruler is better than Droplet, honestly, but it's still not that great. It's still not that great at the end of the day. And then this side deck looks pretty much the same, except I chose Dark Ruler for this deck because it's going to struggle a little more going second. And it can't play quite as much non-engine, so you need heavy-duty board breakers to do something. You get what I'm saying? It's just a little bit different. I mean, you can only play like 12, 15 non-engine. Like, you can at most play 15 non-engine. I don't know why that's in there. Let me take that out. Yeah, that's more like it. But you can put in, I don't know, put in something. I don't even know what we can put in. Just put a Prosperity. Put a Pot of Prosperity in there for all I care. I don't care. Was Prosperity in my Yummy deck? Yes, okay. Thought so. But anyways, this deck's really explosive. Like, when it goes off, like, it makes an unbreakable board, and it probably synergizes with this more than any other deck because of this card right here, Infinitrack River Stormer. You can bridge into your Crystron combo, and you can bridge into your Ripper combo, into your K9 combo, because take a look. K9 Ripper is generic. Yeah, it's broken. But that's all. You know, Double Dragster. I don't know how Double Dragster fares this format. It's still a good option. And then Paradigm Smasher until it gets banned, hopefully. The card doesn't come up that often, but when it does, it's pretty much auto win against most decks. Next on the list is Draco Tail. I haven't really put a side deck together on this one because it's going to be pretty much the same as the other ones. I do like this deck better as a board breaker deck. As with any fusion deck, it just seems to work well with board breakers. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, that may end up coming out for something like Book of Eclipse. I do like to have something against the Charmies, but we're playing this deck most likely going second, honestly. So maybe even go a little heavier on the board breakers. Throw in a Shaddoll Fusion package. Anything you want, you can side a Shaddoll Fusion. But the branded variant, to me, I like the best because it just stays with the theme of Synchros. Because this deck does have locks. It does have locks, and you don't want to have to be playing a weird way. So if you're locked in the Fusion, you're just locked in the Fusion. You know, it's not a big deal. But we still play Seals for turn 1 plays and Striker Dragon just for graveyard manipulation type stuff. What else? And then, let's see. Droplet, Book of Eclipse, Talent. So we're not playing a whole lot of stuff. At the end of the day, maybe put in a Duster here. But we can do a lot with this deck, and it's just a fun fusion deck. I don't want to play a fusion deck with Xyz monsters, even though it's probably the better version. But we can make Dragoon in this deck. We can make our time card, Masquerade, which is actually, you know, you put this up, it's kind of hard for them to break your board with this up, and that's just the way it is. Play the 1 Tier Element Shiren. You can do Rucalo stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This one, nothing to this one. This is just kind of like a fun deck that I want to play this format. Lunalight. Lunalight, this deck, honestly, considering just making it a blind second deck also, but we'll have to see how the format shapes up. I am a little scared of just, like, again, you don't want to go into a full Malice board, but this card alone ends Malice. It literally ends Malice, unless they intentionally end on like Cyburst Wicked or something like that to protect their monsters from Liger Dancer. But still, a lot of times they're not going to be able to out the Liger Dancer. They're just not going to. They're not going to be able to out it. So Greater Polymerization going second. Now you don't always go second with this deck. You go first, of course. This is a going first deck. But you would want to go second in a lot of situations. Like you could have the option to go second, and you would be set up to go second, because that's what this deck struggles with more than going first. You put up 2 towers and Bagooska, okay, and then going second, you just summon a Liger. You find a way to summon a Liger Dancer, you win the game. It's just simple as that. And if you can't do it, you just can't do it. So this is a little more of a risky deck, but it's still fine. It's still fine. I'm not saying this is going to be like a meta, but if you're not somewhat prepared for this deck, you're probably going to be sorely disappointed. Nothing much to say about this deck, other than, you can take a screenshot of this, do what you want. And then 5th, Mitsurazio. This deck, I'm bored of this deck, honestly, right now. I'm tired of seeing Star Razio. Ice Razio summon. I've seen that for, 6-7 months now. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people activating Habakiri in hand. I'm tired of 7th Tachyon revealing, what is that? This card right here, Search and X. I'm just tired of it, okay? I'm tired of X, send Meteorologic Aggregator, negate my crap, get their search for free, chain block. I'm just tired of that. But don't sleep on this deck. This deck's still tier 1 right now. Right now, it's arguably maybe the best deck, arguably. The issue with this deck is it plays so many bricks. Let me just show you the bricks. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say 4. Honestly, I'm gonna say 4 on that one. 5 in most situations. 6 and 6. We'll just say 6. We'll just say 6. Yeah, it just plays bricks. Why would you play a deck with 6 freaking bricks? Not to mention you have to up the count just so you don't see them bricks. So when you up the count to not see your bricks, you also don't see your starters, which this deck only has, like, what? And these are bad starters. Some of them are bad. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can count these. 13. It has like 13 or 14 starters. That sucks. That sucks bad when in a 42 card deck. That's why this deck bricks so much. But nonetheless, when it goes off, it goes off. But yeah, these are pretty much the 5 decks that I want to be playing in this format. Don't pay attention to any of these others. These are all just garbage. There is a Floodgate version of Dracotail that I'm experimenting with, where you just basically summon Winda. So, anyways, you summon Winda, you win the game. You're also playing K9 to try to make Paradise Smasher. Yeah, so that was pretty toxic, but nonetheless, it's still an option. And then what else? Dynamorphia. This deck kind of sucks against Vanquish Soul, but ironically, this deck is very, very good against all the other decks. I don't know that any of the other decks can. I know they can't play through set 5 pass. Like, it's just impossible. So I actually, if I get bored of playing meta, I'll probably play this. This deck's insane. This format, other than Vanquish Soul, it does have a problem with Vanquish Soul, and ironically, Blue Eyes, but. What are you going to play? Maybe 1 Blue Eyes the whole tournament, and you still have a chance to win. If you win the dice roll, you automatically win against Blue Eyes. People will be playing Droplet, but we play a lot of counters to it, so I'm not too worried about that. We can just Floodgate them, and we can play Lava Golem, so yeah, whatever. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you checking in. I'll keep you updated kind of how this format goes. I'm going to be playing really hard this year. I'm going to be going hard. I'm going to a lot of events. I'm grind in this format. I kind of slacked up last format, and I don't want to do that again. So anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. Be sure to like and subscribe.